The third aspect of the type does the role function. The term role comes from the fact that people tend to play or reenact the aspect in the role function in short bursts when they meet new people or talk to strangers. The aspect in the role function is visible but not comprehensible. This means that when the aspect is present in the external world, the type that has its aspect in the role function will be able to recognize it, but will have no understanding of it. Hence, it creates an illusion when a person believes they can use their role. Role never produces the actual aspect, but always a caricatured version of it. It always comes in quick bursts and can never be maintained. Let's take a look at some instances of how different types use their role function. Role LII in SLEs and SEEs. These types would normally avoid using abstract analogies, but sometimes they might attempt to draw comparisons of abstract concepts based on partial similarities between them. But instead, they either compare a concrete object with an abstract one, or go for quintessential overlap rather than a partial one. Role LI in SEIs and SLIs. These types would normally avoid discussing quintessential qualities of concepts, but when they do, they may leap to conclusions and think they have grabbed the essence of something. In actuality, these conclusions are based on insufficient amounts of information. Role FE in LIEs and LSIs. These types would normally avoid direct emotional expressions, but sometimes they may awkwardly emulate the open expressions of emotions without actually experiencing the emotional state they are emulating. Role FI in LIIs and LSIs. These types normally avoid personal judgments, but sometimes may react to faulty logic as if it was an intentional personal attack, and may voice harsh snap judgments based on it. EE in ESEs and EIEs. These types would normally avoid the matters of how things should be done, but sometimes they may jump in with demands of certain steps to be taken that they think will lead to improved efficiency, even though in practice it might not help or even be a hindrance. Role TI in ESIs and EIIs. These types are not interested in clear definitions and deriving conclusions from them, but sometimes they try and draw a conclusion from the premises without first gaining an understanding of the premises. Role SE in ILEs and IEEs. These types usually avoid hostilities altogether, but can sometimes be confrontational and defensive where there was no threat, disproportionate in their aggressiveness and unprepared and taken aback by the consequences. Role SI in IEIs and ILIs. These types normally try to avoid the matters of bodily needs, but they can have a set of routines that they believe make them or others feel comfortable. Hence, since they're not in sync with their bodily needs, these routines can be de facto uncomfortable or even harmful.